This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Yo, great friends, what's happening? It is, is everybody ready? You know what day it is, right? It's Friday. It's Friday. Shout out to Billy Ray, who every Friday would get on the air and the first thing he would do is go, "It's Friday." So it's Friday. It's Kaplan and Crew. Grande, the Brown Man, 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com, getting ready for the championship Sunday, the big weekend. But before we get there, today being Friday, I've watched a lot of coverage again from the Farmers Insurance Open, and then tomorrow is the championship round. Grande, what time you heading out to the Farmers tomorrow?
Late.
Really? How late?
Probably the last 2 hours of it.
Yeah?
Yeah, probably.
Not gonna get out there till about 1:30 then, huh?
Yes.
What is that face? What is with the face?
I forgot.
Uh-oh.
The mother-in-law is coming tonight.
Oy vey.
Yeah, so I have I got your tickets, and I was like, at the same time that I had realizations of things I have to do.
Can I make one suggestion to you as someone who's been married?
Mm-hmm.
The smartest thing for you to do tomorrow is to grab a buddy and go out there, call it 1:00 till it's over, and get out of the house and get away from your mother-in-law for just a little while.
No, it's not like that. I just got to take them somewhere. That's why.
Where you got to take them?
They're going down there's a big family party happening in TJ tomorrow that I'm not going to. I'm just going to drop them off.
Where are you dropping them off?
TJ.
Yeah, but cross border, like at the airport, the cross border, or are you actually driving into TJ?
That's a possibility. I literally have no idea yet.
You have a Global Express for your car and for you do?
Well,
you got both?
A car.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I don't know the details yet. So
you ain't going. You gonna send me back the tickets?
If I don't go, yeah.
Weak.
Do you want them back?
No, I just thought you wanted to go, man.
I do.
I had to call in favors to get them, bro.
But you see all that trash you talked about me not going, bro. Now this guy bailing on you. What's wrong with C?
I didn't really drop a hey king. We all talked to Marty.
Yeah. No, that's true. That's true. Well, listen, if you don't go, I'd love to get him back. I have tons of people asking me for tickets to the Farmers.
Okay.
Planning on going out tomorrow morning, and so I won't be there for the finish, but I'll get out there tomorrow morning, take a nice little brisk walk, see what's going on in the early part of the day. Just beautiful. Listen, I know yesterday it was windy and garbage cans were rolling down the fairways and stuff, but I watched the coverage on the Golf Channel, and if you are in, New York or Philadelphia or Kansas City, where it's going to be in the 20s this weekend, if you're in one of these cold weather cities, bro, you're seeing what's going on TV out here. You're like, damn, it's freaking the end of January. It's the NFC Championship game this weekend, and it's sunny skies, blue, crispy skies, the ocean, the green grass. This is what we missed.
I know we had Marty, and I know that
NFL team.
I know we had Marty, and he said that they like the new format Wednesday to Saturday, and maybe they do. Maybe they're going to get a bunch of people out there tomorrow because it's Saturday and it's the final round. And it's going to be gorgeous. Yep. But I am curious. I wonder if they had a choice because of the NFL expanding it by a week, and then I wonder if they would prefer to be like. I feel like the weekend after the Super Bowl, people are craving something, and I feel like a golf tournament in the most beautiful place in the country is a nice okay, let's shift our mind. Let's there's no more football on Sundays, and I wonder if they would prefer to almost move to the weekend after the Super Bowl. I know they already have a whole schedule, and it's not going to happen.
No, right. Well, that's just it. The Farmers probably would, but if you look at the PGA Tour schedule, I don't know this for sure, but I think they might be going to LA, or maybe out to the desert. So, wherever they're headed to, they're going to have Southern California pristine weather, and those other tournaments
open.
Yeah, the Genesis is what's the weekend? Is it the 7th? Oh, right. Riviera Country Club.
Yeah.
And
That's the weekend after the Super Bowl.
Right. So the weekend after the Super Bowl.
Yeah. 16th,
Okay.
17th,
Yeah.
18th, 19th.
Yeah. That's President's Day weekend too. Holiday
Yeah.
weekend.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. That's the Genesis. They've got it.
They got it.
Because your question about the Farmers, this Wednesday through Saturday thing makes all the sense in the world for television, but it doesn't really, really work brilliantly for locals to come out and enjoy,
Right.
But it's like, I think the golfers are like, hey, I don't want to play on Sunday. It's the AFC and NFC championship game. I want to watch the game. I really think the golfers want to watch the game. Games.
I agree. I mean, think about if you're playing in the Waste Management Open. That's Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah.
And it's like the biggest party on the PGA Tour schedule. And they play on Super Bowl Sunday now.
Right. There'll be a lot of guys who don't make the cut that are like, yeah, I'm going to the game. I came to Phoenix. I played for a couple of rounds. I'm going to the game. You guys have fun playing golf here on Sunday when the whole world is watching the Super Bowl and nobody cares what's going on here.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, there's a lot of people I know that are going to that Phoenix Open, especially on Super Bowl Sunday. I'm like, what? No, bro, not on Super Bowl Sunday. I know it's a big party, but not on Super Bowl Sunday. Well, hey, congratulations to everybody at the Farmers Insurance Open, the Century Club, all the great work you guys do around San Diego, and glad that we were able to help promote a little bit this week. And we'll see you guys out there on Saturday. So if you see me walking around, make sure you hit me with the great friends and throw me a fist bump. You know what I'm saying? All right.
Our boy Charlie had a rough day yesterday.
Yeah, he went from 4 under on the opening round. What did he do yesterday?
8 over.
Jeez.
Finished 4 over.
Come on, Charlie.
I was trying to look it up if he was in North Carolina or South Carolina, because clearly one of the courses is more difficult than the other, right?
Yeah, right. And traditionally, the South course is considered the championship course because that's the U.S. Open course.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, he was on the South course yesterday. I just see.
So
I'm
he was
seeing a graphic here.
Really, he went from 4 under on the North to 8 over on the South,
and finished 4 over.
Come on, Charlie. Come on, Charlie.
I just love when he makes it because every time I've been to the Farmers Open, I always hear great friends when I follow Charlie. It gives me a good hoot.
Yeah, I know. That's too bad. But I think he's been dealing with like a back injury. So I think Charlie's trying to like rehab and get his body back together. That's what I think. I'm not 100% positive. You know what we should do? We should bring him on Monday. He could talk about the Farmers Insurance Open, and he's going to be watching the football games this weekend.
Yes.
Okay, let's do that. We'll get Charlie Hoffman on this week. All right, listen, we're just getting rolling here today on a Friday afternoon. Now, by this afternoon, by the time we're on the air here, everybody, you should have already received your weekly email from the show. And if you are not currently on our email list, can I have like 30 seconds? Will you humor me so I can like tell you how to get on our email list? Here's what you do. Go to our website, kaplanandcrew.com. All right, kaplanandcrew.com. And what you do is you scroll to the bottom of the website. Maybe, Alex, you could bring it up for everybody who's watching on TV and on YouTube. And people who are like me that procrastinate, like I'm the kind of person that would hear me say this on the radio and go, yeah, I'm going to do that. And then I get home and I get onto something else and I forget to do it. My brain will go in a different direction. So I thought I'd actually show it to you. If you go to kaplanandcrew.com, the website, you scroll to the bottom of the page. There we are, 15 pounds ago. Scroll to the bottom of the page, right? You get through all of our tweets and all of our Instagrams and all of our YouTube videos and sponsors and the Brown Bag blog, which needs to be updated. And then at the very bottom, very, very bottom, I mean, you got to scroll all the way to the bottom. You stay connected to our newsletter and you just put in your email right here. And that's it. And then bottom, scroll down. This picture right here, Alex, the picture down at the bottom of the three of us at Miami Beach, the very bottom, which I can't see right now unless you're moving it. But there you go. That picture was 3 years ago yesterday, I think, or around 3 years ago, right? Almost to the day. Close. I think I'm pretty close. Browner, check you out, man. Fatigues on Miami Beach. Nice tight cut. Grande.
Unfatigued. That was a shirt, my brother.
Well, I mean, it's camouflaged.
I might need to get that hair back.
Yeah, it looks tight.
Looks tight. A little lopsided, but
Alex, look how heavy you were. Look how heavy you were 3 years ago.
Wow, that's one way to introduce him.
Well, I mean, look how different you look. Look how great you look today. 30 pounds.
That was a bad haircut. That was a bad haircut.
No, it was just time for a haircut.
Really side? No, because I cut it. I used to cut it not as short as I cut it on the sides now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Look how skinny you are.
I wouldn't say that, but
well, 30 pounds down, buddy. So anyway, if you go to our website and you give us your email, you're going to get on our email list. We send out our email earlier today. And then when you're in our email, we put a sided poll in there, which, by the way, you guys who are listeners and viewers, you're helping me out because this is what we do now, man. This company, things have changed, and we put these polls into emails. And when you click on it, it goes to our website. So Cousin Nancy, Alex, is going to be very happy with me. Go ahead. Let's see what happens when you vote on it. Cousin Nancy can be very happy with me because this should drive a lot of traffic to our website. Shout out to Cousin Nancy. So there it is. All right, so when you get our email, click on the poll. It'll bring you here to the website. Okay, we're all working together. All right, fellas, how are we feeling about the big games coming up on Sunday? Any early thoughts here? Because I'll tell you this, Vegas has changed its mind all week long on the Cincinnati Kansas City game.
I feel exactly the way I felt on Monday. Nothing's changed for me. Everyone knew Mahomes was going to play. Ankle sprains don't go away in 6 days. I think he could still survive. Chiefs will be good. Bengals will be good. Literally nothing changed. McCaffrey will have a sore calf. Debo will have a sore ankle, whatever he's dealing with. The Eagles are still the best team on the NFC. That hasn't changed in the last 5 days. And the only thing that I'm trying to figure out is how much the Bengals win by.
Really? So you're telling me out of all the things you just said, in a collision sport, guys are banged up.
Nothing's changed. It's week 21 or whatever of the NFL season. Of course, guys are banged up. And when McCaffrey's like, there's 0 chance I'm going to miss this game. Yeah. But how much are you going to play in this game? Because he was limited in the second half on Sunday when they really needed him, and they threw an Elijah Mitchell in there to finish the game. So I don't think anything's changed for me. I don't trust Brock Purdy yet. I'll tell you what, though, if I'm wrong, I will say this now. First segment on Friday, January 27th. If the Niners win, I will pick Brock Purdy to win the Super Bowl. We talk about team of destiny with the Bills all year long. I'll be convinced.
Who said that the Bills were a team of destiny? Who said that?
This guy down here.
Come on now. Hold on a second. Hold on. Wait a second. In week 1 of the NFL season, week 1, the Bills go to LA, smash the freaking Rams when people thought the Rams were a real Super Bowl contender. Week 1, people were like, this is a preview to the Super Bowl, the defending champion Rams and the favorites, the Bills. So first of all, the Bills were the favorite going into the season. After the Damar Hamlin story, the Bills became the darling. Like this was going to be the storyline that was going to take them all the way to their Super Bowl. For the organization that lost 4 straight, this was going to be the year. So yeah, Brown. I don't think I was the only one.
Did you guys have a big shift in attitude towards the matchups from Monday to today?
I do. I definitely have.
No, I haven't.
In what capacity?
I would have thought Monday of this past week, I definitely was in on Cincinnati more so than Kansas City. And I probably was just leaning towards Philly just because they're home. But I can tell you right now, I think I'm leaning towards Kansas City a lot based on what was said yesterday by Kevin Keatsman, who was on the show. He's the voice of sports radio in Kansas City. And the one thing, just from a numbers perspective, with Cincinnati beating Kansas City the last 3 games, he had a stat yesterday. When Kansas City is 0-3 currently against Cincinnati, but in that same period of time, they're 17-2 against everybody else that they've played. So Kansas City's been great, but they've lost 3 times to Cincinnati. And he also brought up, Kevin, that last year they had a big lead, the Chiefs did, going in at halftime against the Bengals in the AFC Championship game. And then they got real tight in the second half, turned the ball over a couple of times. Cincinnati winds up winning the game. I actually don't remember a lot about the Cincinnati Kansas City game. I feel like I remember a lot more about like Buffalo, Kansas City.
No, you remember the end of Buffalo, Kansas City.
But
I
what?
remember the Kansas City Bengals game because I thought it was over at halftime because the Bengals were doing nothing, and everything that people had said about them being too young for the moment, having a no-name defense, and their offensive line being banged up all rang true in the first half. And I think the Chiefs believed that when they went into halftime because they were fighting each other about getting catches. And when the second half of that game started, the Chiefs didn't show up, and the Bengals just kept playing, and that's how they won the game. I remember it very vividly because I was like, oh man, I was looking forward to this. Man, I was gonna crush Joe Burrow, and it was the fourth quarter, and they were winning, and I was like, what is happening to my take?
So I think what I'm saying is that the reason I'm headed towards Kansas City is I find it hard to believe that the Chiefs are going to lose to the same team 4 straight times, number one. Number two, I find it hard to believe that the Chiefs are going to lose to the same team twice in the AFC Championship game at home in back-to-back years. And while everything has been about
Well, why do you
Mahomes
say
and his
that?
ankle, why do I say it?
Yeah, just
Well,
curious. Like, what is
just
your
because of
reason?
the numbers. No, just because of the
Right.
numbers. Like, it's not like a football analysis deal
Okay.
here. It's not like, look, Kansas City's defensive line is really, really good, and Cincinnati's offensive line is really beat up.
Yeah.
So this is not based on analysis of what's happening in the trenches. I'm just going off the numbers. Cincinnati's won 3 straight against Kansas
Mhm.
City. They beat them last year in the AFC Championship game in Kansas City. This is KC's 5th straight year of hosting the AFC Championship game, and they've only won 1 Super Bowl. They've been to 2. I just am having a hard time believing that the Bengals are going to go in there for the 2nd straight year and do this to the Chiefs
Yeah,
again.
and I think it's because of the perception of what we have of the Chiefs for the last 10 years or since Mahomes has took over the last 5 years. I think that we all perceive that Patrick Mahomes, and he is the best quarterback in the NFL, and that the Chiefs are the best team in the NFL. That's just what we are wired to think. And the Bengals, this is only their 2nd year of being good. So I think that we are all thinking the same way as these guys. Like, there's no way they're going to do it again. But maybe Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase are that good that we should start thinking that way.
And
You know?
we will. I know I will.
I won't.
If the Bengals go in there and do it again, I'll be like, okay, so there's been a power change here.
Yeah.
Kansas City's been the best team for the last 4 years. Okay,
But we're also ignoring another thing. Kevin Keesman said that this is the best Kansas City team since Patrick Mahomes has been here.
Team. Yeah.
Team, right?
Yeah,
Team.
right.
Yeah.
They're not reliant on one guy to come through on offense and open it up
But
for
are
other
the
guys.
but are the Bengals a better team?
No, I don't think
Just
so.
because
No.
it's the best Chiefs team that's they've had, are they still better than the Bengals this year? I don't know. I just don't. Like, I don't think
so.
that there's like this significant the Chiefs are way better than the Bengals, and you look at
No.
the whole team. I don't think
I don't think
that's the
so.
case at all.
I don't think so either. But I do think this, that if you say to me, well, what about Mahomes and his mobility? And if he's not as mobile, he can't get outside the pocket, he can't make plays. If you want to talk real football analysis, there's all these stats and data now. Browner, you'll have to break out the nerd goggles.
Oh,
Doot,
God.
doot, doot, da, dee, doot,
Beep
doot.
bop, beep bop.
Beep, beep, bop, beep, beep, boop.
There's all these nerd stats that are like how many times Mahomes throws the ball outside the pocket, what his completion percentage is, versus how many times he throws the ball from within the pocket, what his completion percentage is, touchdowns, etc. And you know what? He's great outside the pocket. He does it more than anybody else, but he's also great inside the pocket. So if he has to stay in the pocket and say, look, it's cold, my ankle's all sore, I can't really run the way I normally do, let's run the ball and then let me use the playmakers that I have and get him the ball as quickly as possible to keep everybody off of me. I still believe in Mahomes that he can do that. Listen, I expect it to be a tight game. I don't think that one team is significantly better than the other, but I do think that the Chiefs being at home and all the numbers being against the Chiefs for the last 3 meetings, just going on numbers here.
I think that my biggest concern is it would be a bigger concern if he didn't make the Super Bowl last year with a crappier offensive line. Like Joe Burrow being under pressure, I think he's so used to it. He got sacked 20 times in the postseason last year. 20. That's 5 a game. Like, so I think that he's used to having a terrible offensive line in front of him, that he still finds ways to just get the ball to his 3 guys out there. I'm really not concerned about the O-line, and that's like the statement that I feel could bite me in the ass on Sunday.
Yeah.
But is the Chiefs' defensive line better than it was last year? Because I think it is.
Well,
Like,
Chris Jones has gone from a guy that, you would hear his name on occasion, but nobody like put him in the category of Aaron Donald. Now he's a different body type, but he's a similar position, and he's like just as disruptive, you know? So I
And I
think
know that
Kansas City.
Browner said Frank Clark's not that great of a player, but he does. I just saw this stat. He has the 4th most sacks in postseason history. And
Oh,
that's
wow.
probably because they're in the playoffs every single year and go
I
up
was,
against
Yeah.
deep
I was
every
just,
single year.
Yeah,
But
that's
still,
how, that's
he's
how you get
performing.
stats like that.
But he's performing. If you look at the other names, it's like, it's not this world. But he still performs in the biggest stage. I think that their defensive line is very good and much better than Buffalo's. And I think that they could possess problems, but I'm not worried about it, that it's going to be a difference.
All right.
Like,
Well,
I don't
listen,
think they're going to lose because Joe Burrow gets sacked 8 times.
all right. Well,
I
listen.
think they're going to win because Patrick Mahomes is better than Joe Burrow.
All right. I'm trying to get us to the break. Here's the deal. You ready? We'll talk a lot about this. This is really primary here amongst the things we want to talk about today. But I will just say this. Coming up, Fernando Tatis Jr. is doing and saying all the right things. Let's get to that story. Then we'll get back to football. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios Friday afternoon on Kaplan and Crew.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by MedCline. Sleep better, feel better, live better.
Dominating the SoCal radio airwaves for over 20 years. Join Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner for Kaplan and Crew every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. Only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com.
At Shelter to Soldier, being a private nonprofit, we rely on the community. Thankfully, we have sponsors like the Barnes firm that get behind us.
We understand the difficulties that many of our veterans face when they come back into civilian life. And this program just seemed like the perfect fit.
Today we're catching up with Barney. He is now in our matching phase of our program. He is meeting eligible veterans in what we call speed dating.
How's it going?
So we have just recently approved 5 new veterans for our program. So Barney will be meeting every single one of them to see if he is the perfect match for them.
Barney's perfect date would be a nice long walk on the beach, and then he would like to end the night with a nice dinner with his veteran.
We got to find the right person for the right dog.
When someone you know has COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, things can progress very quickly, making them feel hopeless. But it doesn't have to be like this.
See, Mom, this place is going to be great for you. They're going to help you breathe better.
Pulmonary rehabilitation at La Mesa Rehab focuses on patient education and training. We use special therapies to improve your lungs, clear out mucus, and keep you out of the hospital. Pulmonary rehab is Medicare approved. Call now to see if you qualify or ask your doctor about La Mesa Rehab today.
Since 1975, San Diegans have trusted the Murray Lampert family for their home remodeling projects. We continue our commitment to deliver high-quality home remodeling and construction to our customers without an expensive showroom.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring value to your home, our team has the experience to handle everything. Plus, our strong relationships with the city makes adding on easier for homeowners.
Visit murraylampert.com for your consultation.
Surf Soccer has been around for over 30 years. We're based here in San Diego, but we are the premier national youth sports brand in soccer. Our mission is to create experiences and opportunities for kids, and we do that here mostly in San Diego with our 1,000 kids, but we also do it through our events where we really help kids chase their dreams.
PNC Bank sponsorship helps the kids here. One, it is to continue to help fund facilities like this where the kids can come play soccer. 2, it is really through our scholarship program. There are a lot of kids in San Diego that have incredible levels of talent, but they can't afford to play on a team like Surf. And so a lot of our sponsorship dollars go back into scholarships to give an opportunity for kids who are low to moderate income to play on one of the elite teams in the U.S.
Having a partner like PNC who is community oriented and cares about the development of youth in the community is amazing because our missions are completely aligned and we're both driven by helping develop kids, and in this case through sport in San Diego.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by MedCline. Sleep better, feel better, live better.
Listen to the Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the Mightier1090.com. We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew Show on the Mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Hey, everybody, it's Scott Kaplan from Kaplan and Crew. And with me right now is Rick Slider. He's the CEO of MedCline, which, by the way, is a pillow that is going to change your life. You have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'm telling you right now. Rick, how you doing, man? Where do we find you today?
Scott, great to talk to you. I'm in sunny San Diego, a place you're pretty familiar with.
Yeah, I'm glad it's sunny out. I see the Padres stuff right over your head. That looks pretty cool. And some Beastie Boys. You got some cool stuff behind you.
We had a different sports team up on the wall for a while that had to be taken down, say half dozen years ago. But the Padres still flies prominently on the wall.
I love it, man. Hey, if you could, while we have this time together, can you tell everybody the backstory of MedCline and how you guys have become such a big San Diego company selling all over the world, and what the deal is with the MedCline systems?
Sure. MedCline started here in San Diego, started by a radiologist whose primary practice was at UCSD. And he was a longtime sufferer of heartburn and acid reflux. Tried everything, tried diet changes, was taking medication, proton pump inhibitors or PPIs that a lot of people take. But he was looking for a natural way to reduce his heartburn symptoms. And he found through trial and error that when he slept in an incline and when he slept on his side, his heartburn and acid reflux symptoms would dissipate. Because he's a doctor, he wanted to make sure that this just wasn't by chance. And so he set up some clinical studies using a system that he designed and patented. We got clinical trial results, found that there was a strong reduction in the esophageal acid that would take place during the night, reducing his symptoms. And with that, decided to create a product called MedCline and commercialized it a few years ago. And that is really how our company began, with his personal desire to stop his heartburn and reflux symptoms.
That's amazing. It really is amazing. Like when you have something wrong, you're like, I'm going to fix this problem. But you know what's amazing to me is that acid reflux is a problem that obviously a lot of people have. But for me, I have shoulder pain, chronic shoulder pain from the way I sleep, because I sleep with my arm over my head and then my pillow in between. So when I got my first MedCline, I didn't realize there's the reflux relief pillow, but there's the shoulder relief pillow. And it's completely changed everything for me. My shoulder pain has gone so far down because I'm no longer sleeping like this. I'm like underneath. And tell me about the shoulder pillow, please.
Sure. First of all, I'm so glad to hear that it's working for you. That's fantastic. Secondly, as we brought MedCline to the marketplace, we found that there were a number of individuals that benefited from therapeutic side sleeping beyond just those suffering from heartburn or GERD. And the primary use is for shoulder pain. And the reason I think people like you have been so comfortable with the MedCline is because of our patented arm pocket. When you try and sleep on your side and you have shoulder pain, you run the risk of your shoulder getting frozen, exacerbating pain that you might be feeling, whether it's due to rotator cuff, general shoulder soreness. And so our incline has a patented arm pocket that allows you to either rest comfortably on your elbow or to slide through, sounds like what you do, slide your arm through the system so you can stay at an elevation and sleep comfortably on your side throughout the night. And today, here in 2023, our shoulder product is actually our top seller. It surpassed those that suffer from heartburn and acid reflux, simply because there's more people with shoulder injuries across the country. And we're glad that we're able to help you out.
It's awesome. Hey, we don't have a lot of time, but in the last minute, would you just tell everybody how The MedCline products, though, have gone viral, particularly on TikTok. Just give us like a 30 or 60 seconds about what has happened.
You know, I'd love to say that I'm a marketing genius here, Scott, but really it's just about excited consumers sharing the benefits they get of MedCline. And it's amazing what happens when people finally can get a good night's sleep, how they're so excited to share that information. And recently, we've always been a part of social media, but recently we've kind of found a niche within TikTok. I didn't know that healthy sleep TikTok was a subgenre, but it really is. And with a few different posts, we've seen over just in the last 30 days, over 10 million people exposed to our MedCline products. So we're excited about the virality that this has created. I think it's in part because we have a 95% customer satisfaction rate. We know we can help people get a good night's sleep. It does take a while to adjust and sleep differently. But we're excited to see kind of the viral nature of our product grow, and we're excited to help out as many customers as possible.
It's awesome. I want to encourage everybody who's watching right now, go to medcline.com, medcline.com. Look at the different products. Know you're supporting a San Diego company, and I encourage everybody, sleep better with our friends from MedCline.
Drivers are getting in accidents at a rate we've never seen before, jumping 18% since 2020. There are higher incidents of speeding and more aggressive driving since the pandemic began. Please slow down and drive safely. It can save a life.
An ADU is accessory dwelling unit, and it's become one of the most popular solutions to housing in the United States. We constructed this to provide housing for my mother, who is elderly.
Well, I wanted to downsize. At my age, that's what I wanted to do. Eric engaged the services of Murray Lambert, a top building company.
This is an 825 square foot structure, but it actually looks more like 1,000 because of the spatial considerations. Micah was great. He took the ball and ran with it and came up with this really great combination.
It always appealed to me, high ceilings. It gives a sense of space, of openness, and I like that. Oh, I would give this experience a 10 for sure. Plus, 10 plus.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on YourView and YourView.com. Brought to you by La Mesa Rehab, improving the lives of those with all types of lung disease and long COVID symptoms.
Surf Soccer has been around for over 30 years. We're based here in San Diego, but we are the premier national youth sports brand in soccer. Our mission is to create experiences and opportunities for kids, and we do that here mostly in San Diego with our 1,000 kids, but we also do it through our events where we really help kids chase their dreams.
PNC Bank's sponsorship helps the kids here. One, it is to continue to help fund facilities like this where the kids can come play soccer. Two, it is really through our scholarship program. There are a lot of kids in San Diego that have incredible levels of talent, but they can't afford to play on a team like Surf. And so a lot of our sponsorship dollars go back into scholarships to give an opportunity for kids who are low to moderate income to play on one of the elite teams in the U.S.
Having a partner like PNC who is community oriented and cares about the development of youth in the community is amazing because our missions are completely aligned and we're both driven by helping develop kids, and in this case through sport in San Diego.
At the Barnes firm, we're seeing more pedestrian and bicycle accidents. Drivers are rolling through red lights, and distracted driving makes every intersection a danger zone for pedestrians. Look both ways when crossing, even if you have the right of way.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
All right, great friends. Hey, Friday afternoon, Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man coming to you from the 7 Mile Casino Studios. This is 7milecasino.com. You get all the information about all the table games, blackjack, poker, pai gow, and others right here on the right side of the casino. Beautiful view of the Bay of Chula Vista. Sammy's Restaurant and Bar, which is Sammy's Wood Fire and Pizza, is over here. Alex, what should people get if they go into Sammy's?
Where?
Yeah, Sammy's. What should they order? Give me your recommendations.
Duck tacos.
Okay, they're good, really good.
Balsamic grilled chicken salad.
Very good, very tasty salad.
Arugula and pear pizza.
Like that. Good choice.
Wagyu gorgonzola sliders.
Yes. Now we're talking.
And a messy sundae.
Okay. What about Browner? I didn't hear Browner's order in there.
Well, you asked me. You didn't ask Browner. Ask
Browner, what do we need to add to that order over at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar in 7 Mile Casino?
I don't even know why you're wasting your time asking me that question. There's only 2 things on the menu for me as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure the other things are delicious because I've seen them all at the table. Chicken.
What about drink?
Espresso martini.
You already know.
You already know what time it is.
You already know. I mean, brother had 2 in the suite the other night. No, I had 2 before we went to the suite.
That's what I'm saying. Now, you lucky they didn't have none in that suite. I'd have been up in there like Jason.
Yeah, right.
I'd have been up in there like, I could be Russell Westbrook too.
Mm-hmm. And I can dunk.
Yeah.
And right. And you ain't got to take dunking out of it.
Yeah.
Dude, last night, quick story for you, but I went to support our boy Ernie Hahn. He's got an event at the Del Mar Fairgrounds called Beyond King Tut. Have you guys heard about this at all?
No. I've heard about it.
Yeah. So they had the Beyond Van Gogh exhibit at the fairgrounds. This was probably, I don't know, sometime last year because I remember going. This is Beyond King Tut, and it's just a fun, cool experience.
Is King Tut there?
He's not, but all the history of how they found his tomb and what was in it, and why it's become such a big thing.
Yeah.
So it was kind of interesting. I don't know a lot about it, but I learned a lot about it last night. But anyway, and there's this virtual reality thing at the end that you do where they put on these VR masks and the headphones, and dude, it's freaking awesome. It's like 7 minutes, and the content is awesome. And you're sitting in like a swirly chair, and just all around you're looking, and it's like, whoa. And then you're looking down. It's super cool. But anyway, the whole thing was a lot of fun. Where was I going with all of this? Oh, so I'm standing in line to take a picture. Me and Rachel are going to take a picture in front of this King Tut thing. And this guy says to me, he goes, "Hey man, the last week and change on the show has been out of this world." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, how come?" He goes, "Dude, I listen every day." He goes, "I've been listening on the radio for 15 years." He's like, what happened to the Chargers and the way you guys covered it last week, and just the hate that I share with you for the Charger organization, I freaking loved it, man. And he's like, in the last couple of days, he goes, and then the story last night about you guys at the Laker game and how Lawhead got wasted at the game, because Alex told him, "What are you doing?" Like Alex gave him a pep talk. I mean, dude, this guy last night, he was telling me these things about the show, and we were just in line, he and I. And I was like, this is awesome. And by the way, a 1090 listener, not a YouTube viewer, not a Cox television viewer, not an audio podcast listener, a traditional old school 1090 radio listener. How about that?
Shout out.
Awesome.
Yep.
Shout out right. King Tut.
Hey, King Tut, it's a cool exhibit. I know it just started, but if you go, I think I followed them on Instagram. It's called Beyond King Tut. Browner, it's cool.
What they tell you King Tut was in there?
What was he?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by that? What was he?
Egyptian.
Mm-hmm.
What
makes him what?
Tell me. Is he a brother?
That's
African.
Right. That's
really?
Right. Mm-hmm. Shout out.
I mean, listen, I'm looking at all the pictures, right? They've got the lineage of King Tut's family,
Mm-hmm.
and they got all these pictures. And Rachel's like, "Oh my God, look how interesting this is." And I'm like, "Eh." And she's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I don't know if I believe all this." She's like, "What are you talking about?"
How do we know?
I'm like, really?
A couple cartoons.
I mean, what? A bunch of archaeologists
couple
found this in
cartoons on there.
1907. And look, like this isn't a person. She's like, "I know it's not a person." She goes, "It's a picture of what they did back then, thousands of years ago, and that's the science of how we do archaeology and how we find these sorts of things. That's the most impressive part of all of it." And you're sitting over here like, I don't know.
I'm with her, man.
Listen, man, I think that people get upset that I say everything's fake, but we draw a lot of conclusions from those stick figures on a wall for a lot of things.
Come on, man. What do you
mean? Come
what,
on, man?
What are you doing?
Come on, dude. You're the one
you're
the one that's over here
Come
like
on, dog.
yells at us about aliens all the time, and you want us to just want us to take what it like. It's just a complete fact because there's a little picture on a wall, in a million-year-old building? How'd they make that building, Browner?
And by the way, Browner, do you know that inside of King Tut's tomb, there were literally hundreds of items so remember, this is he's not buried in the ground like your average cemetery. He's in this monster tomb that they built for him. And do you know why they did all of this? Because I didn't know this. I learned this last night.
Why they put him in the tomb?
Yeah, why they put him in a tomb with all of his belongings and all the things that he needed to have.
Take it to your afterlife, bro.
Right. They believe when you die, at that time when you died, you would take the things with you into the afterlife.
These are the things.
With all these things, yeah.
Right. These are the things you needed to get to the afterlife, right? And did you know that they dismembered King Tut's body? Did you know this?
I know that they take your eyes, your heart, and something else. They put it in a jar.
So they take the brain out of King Tut's head and they throw it away. They're like, we don't need this. This thing doesn't matter. Brain gone. But then they take out different organs and then they like put them in some kind of can or something.
In a jar, yeah.
Yeah. And then they clean out your body with water and wine, at which point Rachel went, that's probably what they're going to do with my body. Wash it out with water and wine. And so I learned so much about what the ancient Egyptians did when King Tut died. Do you know how old King Tut was when he died?
Do not know that.
19 years old. You know how old he was when he took over power as the king?
No.
9 years old. And the reason is because it's like Game of Thrones.
How do I know this?
You know that, or are you Googling this?
No, I know that.
Really?
I think like the third grade click went off in my brain right now.
Nice.
They haven't taken my brain out yet.
Yeah. So 9 years old, he takes over as king. 19 years old, the dude is dead. They dismember him. They take his heart. They take his liver. Who knows what other products and body parts they take from him, right? And they put him in a can. And then they put him in this giant tomb. And inside this tomb, there's a boat because he's going to need to go, into the afterlife. And he's got like all of his personal stuff. And it's all in this massive tomb. And in the early 1900s, apparently archaeologists find the King Tut tomb. And inside of it, all the paintings on the walls and all the artifacts and everything else. And in 1907, 115 years ago, archaeologists with inferior technology figured out 100 plus years ago about King Tut from 5,000 years ago. So excuse me for I can appreciate the exhibit and the art of it all and the story of it all, but you'll have to excuse me if I don't just accept it as that's 100% fact.
First of all,
what?
Whenever you're telling history,
of
that nature, it's written on the wall. History is within the word. It's his story. So it's whoever wrote that up there. Like there are parts of the Bible that are obviously convoluted because it was written 5,000 years after all these things had happened. Because reading and writing wasn't really that, cool back then. So when you go and you have aliens build a pyramid and then you start writing on the walls, some of it's going to be hard for people to understand. So it takes time. It's language, passing of language. Don't be hating on the King Tut. Don't be hating on the writings on the wall. That's the original teaching. What's wrong with y'all up in here? That's what's wrong. When there ain't nobody said about the Mayans, get it together.
When they do Beyond the Mayans at the Del Mar Fairgrounds, I'll have an opinion for you. But right now, it's Beyond King Tut. So, hey, Ernie,
we all know who built the pyramids in Mexico. Okay, Mexicans.
Yeah.
No one ever questions that.
Yeah.
Everyone always questions how the Egyptian pyramids were made.
Nobody questions
that. We all
that.
know.
Nobody questions that. Nobody questions how the Egyptian pyramids were made.
Aliens did it.
No, not aliens. No, my people did it. The Hebrews.
Man, get out of here.
What do you mean get out of here? My people were enslaved. Let my people
how'd
go.
They do that? The question is, how'd they do that? How were they able to build that? Nobody asked that about the
what are you doing?
pyramids in Mexico.
What
we
are
all
you
know
doing?
who did it.
You see the Ten Commandments or what, man?
Stop it with that. Come on, man. Come on, man.
What?
Get out of here, man. Get out of. So you think Moses looked like the man in the Ten Commandment movie? What are you doing? What are you doing?
I mean, I didn't say. I just told you I didn't necessarily believe everything I heard about King Tut, and you brought up the Bible, and I don't necessarily believe everything that's in there.
I hope not.
It's just a movie, man. But the Jews were enslaved, and we were building pyramids. Oh, now you're taking pyramids from me, Browner?
Yeah. Yes, I am. yes, I am. Due to historic knowledge, yes, I am, sir. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to go with a no on that one.
All right. Hey, listen, just give me 1 minute. Let's get to this Fernando Tatis story.
King Tut.
I know. Well, you know what? Shout out to Ernie Hahn.
Go check it out.
and go check out his exhibit. I think it's there for the next 2 months. I think you're going to find it really interesting and fun. It's great for the kids, I'll bet. And it's like a nice evening.
Did you pay for it?
Well, no, last night was the grand opening.
Come on, bro.
I mean, come on, Brown. I was an
question
invited
is that,
guest,
man?
And Browner, guess what? Last night, you know where I felt really safe at the King Tut exhibit. So guess what I broke out last night?
Black Air Force One.
Hells to the yeah. Hells to the yeah. And I can't say 100% for sure, but I'm almost sure that my man Rob Machado, the surfer, was there, and he and I were sitting there chatting, and I looked down, and I'm almost sure he was wearing black Air Force Ones too.
Well, you know what they say about them surfers? Thug life, homie.
Oh, you know it.
Surfers,
Radio hosts and surfers, thug life, homie.
Surfers got a mafia. Don't you hop on that wave, boy, they'll knock you out.
All right, hey, one quick second here. I want to mention our friends at Penske San Diego, PenskeSanDiego.com. If you're thinking about going out shopping for a new car this weekend, well, it's different now. You know, you don't have to just walk onto a lot and, sales guy comes over and goes, "Hi, how are you? What can I do for you? What are you looking for? What can we do?" It's not like that anymore. Now you go to PenskeSanDiego.com, 12 dealerships, 9 brands, over 1,000 cars in San Diego. And when you go onto the website, you say, okay, I'm planning on going to visit Mazda of Escondido, or I'm planning on going to visit Lexus San Diego, or I'm going up to Acura of Escondido, one of the many dealerships that they have. And you've said, these are the 4 or 5 cars that I'm most interested in. And by the time you get there, they're sitting there parked. So when you park your car, like, hey, how you doing? Oh, here are the 5 cars. Test drive them, make a decision, boom. Fast, easy. PenskeSanDiego.com. All right, let me get to this Fernando Tatis story. So for Tatis this year, and we're not that far away from pitchers and catchers reporting, he got a lot to do to re-ingratiate himself, not to the fans, because the fans are going to love him. Once he starts hitting home runs, Browner, you've said it over and over again, fans are going to love him again. They're not going to care about the accusations and the guilty verdict of steroids and the, screwing over the team last year with his injuries. He got to do and say all the right stuff. Thankfully, a guy like Kevin Acee, that's what he does, is just covers the Padres. And he knows the storyline, so he put out a story in the Union Tribune. Thankfully, he did it because otherwise many of us wouldn't have heard about it. What's great about what Tatis is doing is he'll say the right stuff, and the best thing you could do is to hang out with Joe Musgrove and work out with Musgrove, because Musgrove is the guy that locals love. And Musgrove is the guy that was pretty candid last year when Tatis and his season got blown up. So working out with Musgrove, kind of, I'll follow your lead. You give me your blessing kind of thing. This is a smart move by Tatis. Alex, take us through this story.
Okay.
All right.
What do you want to know about it first?
Well,
how they're working out?
Yeah, let's jump into some videos, because there was a story that Joe Musgrove told last year on Jim Rome about his training in the offseason, where he's doing this pool training, and now Tatis is doing it with Musgrove. So take a look at these videos right here. What are we looking at?
Yeah, they're doing some underwater training. And I guess it's just like for Tatis, he described it as a very calming thing, being underwater. He says he's very natural in the water, being in the Dominican, being around the water. But this is something that Musgrove's done for a while, and Tatis joined him this offseason. We should talk to this guy. I think it's a former Marine or a former it's definitely military. I just can't remember what branch.
They say where they're at. Is that UCSD? I'm trying to figure out what pool they're in. Because I could see the stands and the scoreboard.
Yeah, I don't know where they're at.
So you got Musgrove, who was doing all this underwater training, and what he said is that it taught him how to be calm in crazy moments. Like there's a high leverage situation in a baseball game, and Musgrove got to calm down, but he did all this underwater breathing training to do that. And I should probably learn more about, what he was getting out of it. The point is this: Musgrove's the guy. Musgrove is the leader of the Padres, and maybe Manny's the leader in the clubhouse, but I mean, Musgrove is the face guy of the franchise, my opinion, because he's the local guy.
Yeah.
And to have Tatis now working out with him, that's like an implied endorsement, like, hey, I got this guy doing everything he needs to do to get himself ready to be the best he can be.
They're at the Kogan Family Aquatic Complex in La Jolla.
Kogan Family Aquatic Complex. I wonder if that's at the JCC or if that's at UCSD.
La Jolla High School.
Oh, La Jolla High. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay, cool. Well, shout out to those guys. All right, so take a look at what Tatis has then said, because remember how he was like, I'm not getting surgery. I'm not having anybody do that. Now Tatis is sounding like a different guy. Alex, can you put up some of these quotes here on the screen? Go ahead and read them to us if you don't mind.
Yeah, this is about the surgeries he had. He's quote, these are pretty long quotes. I'm glad I got it. I feels way better. I'm way confident. I feel like I'm going to have my swing 100% back this year. It feels good. I feel way more confident compared to last time. I feel like this time they got it right. I didn't get it healed right the other time. It was like 25%. This time, the last time we checked, it was 90% healed. So it's way better. I'm really excited. I feel like this is one of the years there's going to be more emotion, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to just being back on the field. And according to the same article, Tatis started hitting this week. So he has been cleared to resume hitting as well from the shoulder and wrist surgeries.
Well, I hear a guy who sounds like, "Hey, I'm feeling my body's feeling better because I did what they told me to do."
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that to me is a good thing. He's already starting to. He's going into spring training, still suspended, but everybody will know his story, which is he's been training with Musgrove. He's happy that he got the surgeries. He's feeling good and feeling confident. So already to me, for a guy who needs to kind of win back the fans, and he may do that just by hitting home runs, but I think he's got to do the right things and say the right things. Brown,
Yeah.
I'm
I found
encouraged.
one thing before Brown jumps in. I don't know if you guys read the whole thing, but one thing I found interesting was Musgrove saying out loud, this kid was reserved. This kid didn't really open up to the team. This kid, was kind of in his own world. When you have this ascension that he had from kind of a prospect to just a superstar in a matter of 3 years, $340 million like that, and then to get slapped down back to reality, it's almost Musgrove didn't use the word humbled, but he kind of said like to see him and the way that he's responded to what happened to him by his own cause, it's been refreshing to see him be part of the team, be around every single day. He's been around Petco every single day. He's just been a different dude. And I hope that stays there, as opposed to if he comes back and he hits 20 home runs in the first few months and he's hitting 300 and he goes back to being this cocky superstar. That's not going to be good for anybody. But like we said last year, the Padres have reined this kid in. The Padres have put handcuffs on this kid, for lack of a better term. The Padres are telling this kid what to do. And at this moment, he's responded to it.
Look at Browner. Look at Browner. You said something that made Browner put his face in his hand, step back from the microphone. Wow, did he say something that was that bad?
I just, for two people who have been in this business for, combined maybe 50 years, maybe, you guys can't be swayed by somebody's remarks, right? You can't.
No.
You can't watch this guy do the offseason right things and say the offseason right things. Like, again, he's been trained to do the apology tour. That's what this is. I don't think he feels any different at all, but he knows what's at stake, so he knows what to say. I don't think he's different at all. Zero, none, nada.
I think it's a big difference. I don't know if you agree with me, Scott. There wasn't any remorse for the motorcycle accidents.
Zero.
None. There was no remorse. He didn't listen to the team. He didn't do his surgeries when they told him to with the shoulder injuries. He didn't listen to them ever. There was none of that. And that's kind of where I was out of the Tatis business once the PED came. I was like, I'm out of here. But all I'm telling you is there's a difference right now to what we had last year during the baseball season when he was working his progression back up. That kid did. I mean, we talked about the interview in Spanish that was contrary, going against anything the Padres ever said. There's a difference now till then. But no, I don't think that all of a sudden he's an angel. And I'm saying we got to see it to believe it. But right now, there's a big difference in perception of what he's doing.
What I'm saying is, and we'll continue this conversation, then we'll get back into the NFL playoffs here in a second. What I'm saying is going into the season, you got to do the right things, working out with Musgrove and allowing the media to see that and showing that to the fans. That's doing the right thing. You got to say the right things. Hey, I'm glad I had the surgery. I'm feeling a whole lot better. First time didn't get fixed right. You're saying the right things. Now, doing and saying then leads you to, when you come off suspension, are you the player you once were? And that's when the fans are going to make their decision. We'll talk more about it. Stick around. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios Friday afternoon. This is Kaplan and Crew.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by MedCline. Sleep better, feel better, live better.
Locally owned and operated, not some bland, uninspired, corporate, cookie-cutter radio station crap. We simply say to those stations, Q. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Murray Lampert now brings architectural and interior design to a whole new level for your remodel, ADU, or whole house build.
We're truly a team at Murray Lampert Design, Build, Remodel, and we don't take that lightly.
Visit murraylampert.com.
This is a huge wall. I'm sure it presented some challenges.
You're right, Sarah. And what it was in the model we noticed there it was too much wood. This was supposed to be clad. And with the beautiful stairs and railings, we realized that we need to come up with a different finish. So we used these reglets that are metal with the drywall, and it gave it this grid look that also matches up with the beams.
Wow, that came out beautiful. If you want to see how they conquered more design challenges, check out Our Family, Your Home.
When you're in pain, you need physical therapy that works, but you want to feel safe during these times. At La Mesa Rehab, your health is our business. We screen each patient, provide masks, and constantly sanitize our private individual treatment areas so you can focus on healing. The foundation of our physical therapy is education. Our therapists care and guide you through the healing process. Ask your doctor about La Mesa Rehab.
The best care you can have at La Mesa Rehab.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to your home, our experience plus our strong relationship with the city makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
At Murray Lampert, we listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylampert.com.
If you're going to count yourself as a fan of this radio station, you'll need to continuously ask yourself one basic question. Am I listening enough? Pro tip, wives are not a good source for input on this. This is the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to your home, our experience plus our strong relationship with the city makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
At Murray Lampert, we listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylampert.com.
We're adopting dogs from local shelters, training them for post 9/11 combat veterans, and we're able to donate these trained dogs to deserving veterans in need. Service dogs can range anywhere from $15,000 to $35,000, $40,000. And for someone getting out of the military that's seeking support and help, having that sort of price tag is daunting. So we really wanted to be able to support the veterans to make sure that they're getting a dog that they need in their life at no charge.
You know, I was in a very dark place. I was having suicidal thoughts, and I really needed an immediate help. We don't know if tomorrow is going to be there for us. So I found Shelter the Soldier online, and I reached out, and somebody contacted me within 24 hours. And in the next couple of weeks, I was already in the program meeting dogs.
Your View Community Spotlight is brought to you by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Flood.
Hey, great friends, it's Scott Kaplan here, and I want you to come check out our new TV show. It's called Kaplan and Crew Tonight, every Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock right here. Now, look, it's the best of the radio show from earlier that day on the mightier 1090, and we've been doing it for 20 years, so now we're expanding the way we talk about sports and the way we can be heard and viewed.
Kaplan and Crew Tonight. Be a part of the crew. Weeknights from 7 to 8 p.m. on Your View.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.